It's Friday the 24th of April and this is YesAuto News. Welcome back to another episode of YesAuto News, the weekly car show that looks into all the weird and wonderful news stories from around the motoring world. However, we did things a little bit differently last week. To celebrate the life of Sir Stirling Moss, who passed away at the age of 90 on Easter Sunday, we look back at some of the stories of the British racing driver's incredible career. You can watch that video by clicking in the top right hand corner. This week I'm going to kick things off with a rant because some people are still driving unnecessarily during the coronavirus lockdown and frankly, it's making us car lovers look bad. Greater Manchester Police say the number of drivers speeding since the lockdown came into effect has gone up by 57% because everyone's running around and driving like idiots on Britain's empty roads. Some people are also driving while under the influence of alcohol and drugs, and others think they can get away with driving about with no insurance. Now, we're all finding this coronavirus lockdown incredibly boring, but it infuriates me so much when I see people driving unnecessarily because there's plenty of things that you could be doing at home. So with that in mind, I put together a list of 5 things you can do to fight off those cravings to go out for a sneaky little drive. Number 1, buy a driving game. Now granted, it's not the same as hooning about on a real track, but it's a hell of a lot better than cruising along a motorway in one of those average speed check zones, staring aggressively at your speedometer. God, I hate them. Number 2, build a model car, a bit like this one right here. Well, not exactly this one's made of metal, but if you have the patience to put together one of those Tamiya kits, you'll be rewarded with a sense of achievement. Now, can you tell me the correct name of this car? You've got to be a real geek to know what it is, but if you give me the correct answer in the comments section, I'll reward you with a coveted YesAuto thumbs up. Number 3, get fit in preparation for the day that Mercedes calls you up to replace Lewis Hamilton because he's put on too many kilos and can't fit in his Formula 1 car. Start off with some simple push-ups before moving on to lifting weights. Follow those steps and you'll be race ready in no time. Number 4, read a book. No, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, but now is a great time to get reading. Look at all these books right here. I haven't read a single one of them, but since the lockdown's begun, I've read that much of Adrian Newey's book. Not the top bit, the bottom bit of the book, but it's a start. Number 5 is a little bit taboo. It's something that we all do, mainly from the privacy of our own homes. Some of us like to do it in bed, just before going to sleep. And the frequency at which people do it really depends. Some people do it very often, while others less so. I'm more of a daily kind of guy, and I find that brings me a lot of joy. Now, I don't usually talk about this with people. I find it to be a very private matter, but this week I thought was a little bit different. And I think you know what I'm talking about. It's browsing the classifieds. I think my top 5 is brilliant, but if you're after a more informative list, why not check out Tyler's guide by clicking the link in the top right hand corner. Right, onto some spy shots. This week we got a pretty good look at the new 911 GT3 and the wingless GT3 Touring, both of which are meant to appear at the Paris Motor Show in September, but that's now been cancelled because of the coronavirus. However, it looks like Porsche is still going ahead with the launch of its track-honed sports cars, and we're pretty cool with that. Let's take a look at the regular GT3 first. Of course, Porsche detractors will say it doesn't look any different and it's just a Beetle with a wing. But in all fairness, the GT3 looks really quite different to the Carrera. The GT3 has a much lower nose that makes it look a little bit like the RSR racing car that competes in the World Endurance Series. You also get a chunky rear bumper complete with dual exit exhausts and a diffuser that's a bit bigger than the one on the old car. But then there's the oddly proportioned wing plonked onto the back of the car. You get the impression that Porsche really wanted to focus on making the GT3 look like a road-going RSR before realising that they'd need to release a more hardcore GT3 RS further down the line. So the wing is a bit bigger than the one on the outgoing model, but it's still small enough so that Porsche can introduce a proper wing on the next GT3 RS. If, like me, you think the wing on the new GT3 looks a bit apologetic, you could always go for the 911 GT3 Touring. Surprise, surprise, this looks a lot like a standard GT3 without the rear wing, just like the last GT3 Touring and the old 911R. It does, however, come with an active rear spoiler that gives you a bit more stability at high speed and under braking. I'm really excited about the new 911 GT3, particularly the RSR inspired styling. If it were my money, I would go for the GT3 Touring, but I'd like to know what you think. Regular GT3 or 911 GT3 Touring? Let me know by entering the YesAuto poll in the top right hand corner. Now, I've got some bad news. The Maserati MC20 has been delayed because of coronavirus. The sports car was meant to make its public debut in Modena next month. However, Northern Italy has been struck particularly hard by COVID-19 and most of the country is still under lockdown, so it comes as little surprise that the launch of the car has been pushed back. It means we'll have to wait until September to see the car in the metal, which is a real shame because, frankly, none of us have got any idea of what the car looks like. Most spy shots of the car appear to show a development mule that's largely based on the Alfa Romeo 4C, suggesting the MC20 will be a mid-engine sports car. We've also heard that the car is actually just a testbed for the MC20's engine, which is rumoured to be either a V8 or a hybrid V6. Some outlets say that's a load of rubbish because the MC20 is in fact an electric car. But to be brutally honest, nobody has any idea of what the MC20 will be. Most of the articles I looked at ahead of making this video read along the lines of Maserati postpones MT20 sports car, followed by 7 paragraphs starting with questions and ending with the word perhaps. Maserati says it's the successor to the glorious MC12, that V12 engined homologation supercar based on the Ferrari Enzo. But this time it's ruled out borrowing an engine from its stablemate. What we do know, however, is that it'll go racing. The C in MC20 stands for Corsa, which is Italian for race, and the 20 is a reference to 2020. Clearly, the car isn't going to be competing in 2020 unless it's released as DLC for Gran Turismo Sport and serves as a homologation special for esports. Now, if it's my guess, I would say that the car will compete in GT3 racing, but really, we won't know until September. My goodness, this is one roller coaster of a news show, so let's end on a high note, shall we? Italian design house Zagato is celebrating its 100-year anniversary, and because no one's around to give it a birthday present, the firm has decided to release 2 heritage models of the Aston Martin V12 Vantage that serve as the automotive equivalent of throwing a surprise birthday party for yourself. Granted, they're based on the V12 Vantage from 2011, but Zagato has added a few extra touches to set the new cars apart from the original. For instance, there's never been a speedster version of the V12 Vantage Zagato, and we're pretty damn happy the Italian firm has decided to rectify that. Other more subtle changes include the removal of the clumsy rear wing, which has been replaced by a more elegant spoiler that integrates seamlessly into the bodywork. Yep, they're beautiful. And expensive. In true Zagato form, you can't just go out and buy the coupe version or the speedster individually. You have to buy them as a pair, and that means forking out £1.75 million before taxes are even applied. Personally, I'd rather save the cash and buy a Vanquish Zagato or the achingly beautiful DB7 Zagato from the early 2000s. Right, what have I missed this week? The Vauxhall Mocha will finally be arriving in 2021. It'll have a radically different design apparently. Oh, and Audi unveiled its new A3 saloon. It's an A3, but now in the shape of a saloon. There's a new front-wheel drive version of the Lexus NX. Yeah, I think that just about covers everything. That's it for this week's YesAuto News. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed what you watched, why not leave us a like or maybe even subscribe to the channel? I'll be back next week, but in the meantime, you can head over to YesAuto.com for all the latest car news and reviews. And why not hit us up on social media? Just search for YesAuto UK on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Cam Tate. I'll see you next week.